Okay, I think it's safe to say that when Street Fighter V launched, it got a lot of criticism, mainly being for a bare bones game when it came out. It was purely released for the esports, wasn't it? It barely had any content, but the killer for me, which basically the reason why I'm not buying the game, is because the fact it doesn't have an arcade mode. And that's just crazy to think that a fighting game wouldn't have an arcade mode. Now, executive producer Yoshinori Ono has actually responded to the concerns of players and talked about some of the ways the developer intends to address them. This is what he had to say. I think it's safe to say that we underestimated the popularity of some of the single player features. That said, we are excited about the two all-new single-player modes, character story and survival, and we have plans to continue to refine and expand onto those experiences. Now, I'm pretty sure survival pretty much explains itself, but I believe the character story mode, all of the character story modes rather, could actually be completed in about an hour or even 2 hours at the most, which in my opinion I don't consider as a proper arcade mode. I wouldn't even consider survival mode as an arcade mode. But Ono added that it's almost been 8 years since the release of Street Fighter 4, and they expect to work on the 5th Street Fighter for just as long, if not longer. And this is what he continues to say. As we've stated in the past, Street Fighter V is an evolving platform that will continue to get more refined and built upon over time. For us, this is a marathon and not a sprint, and we appreciate all of the words of support as we embark on this journey together. I believe the majority words would have been for criticism, not support, because, like I said, the game launched bare bones. I believe in the first month of release, or first week, I believe it sold 500,000 copies worldwide. And if you think about it, for a Street Fighter game, that's not good at all. Yes, it's console exclusive with a PlayStation 4, I know, but that's still not a lot, considering there's over 40 million PlayStation 4s out there, you know? Now, Ono admitted that the Capcom Pro Tour, which is the competitive league featuring Street Fighter, was one of the reasons the game launched in February. And this is what he continued to say. The Capcom Pro Tour wasn't the only reason for why the game was released when it was. We understand that if we had more features ready at launch, it would probably have been better received by some of the more casual fans who tend to enjoy Street Fighter more via single player content as opposed to competitive play. He continues to say that there's a delicate balance between our hardcore and casual players. We understand that the game serves several needs and will continue to work hard to strike that perfect balance so we can live up to our Street Fighter for All mission. And he continues on to talk about the single player content, but also wants to concentrate on the multiplayer. And again, this is what he had to say. We are putting in a lot of effort to smooth out the server problems and address issues such as rage quitters, which is affecting players' online experience. Once we are able to implement all the fixes we have in store, I'm confident fans will enjoy the online experience that much more. However, in this article it doesn't really explain anything about the arcade mode, and that's the reason if this game had an arcade mode, I'd be buying the game straight away. Because with a fighting game, this is how I have always treated a fighting game. I always do the arcade mode, go through it first time on a normal difficulty, learn everyone's moves, then up the difficulty a bit more, go through it, and then once I've done it on the highest difficulty, then I'll jump into an online. And I'm pretty sure that's what majority of people tend to do. So I am glad that the gaming community did have a big backlash when Street Fighter V launched, because if you think about it, what if there wasn't a backlash and every fighting game that was released from here on in came out bare bones and with hardly any content like Street Fighter V? So I am really glad the gaming community kind of came together about this, and hopefully Capcom will sort out the issues for Street Fighter V. Now, as far as I'm aware, they're still adding DLC characters at the moment, but I believe later on, I believe in June, that's when you'll see a lot more single player content, and I hope the people who have purchased Street Fighter V will finally get what they expected when they paid full price for the game. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. This is Jamesy Boy logging off. You take care.